Welcome back, everyone. Good morning. It is a bright and sunny day, about 52 degrees out here. I'm kind of brisk. And I wanted to clarify something this morning because I think I wasn't very clear in my last video. I had a question that made me think maybe I wasn't very clear. So I want to discuss the mums. As you can see, they're doing actually pretty well. I'm highly critical of myself, so when I'm a little negative on them, that has more to do with me than I think the mums. But as you can see, these are looking beautiful. They're nice and bright and green. Unfortunately, I do have a grasshopper in here, which I would prefer to feed to my chickens. But even the ones that had been eaten back by grasshoppers and that weren't doing so well are starting to perk up a little bit and get a little bigger and thicker. And mums, they grow pretty exponentially. But, and then I have some like this that are just tall and they haven't thickened up at the bottom. Although you can tell this one is starting to thicken up at the bottom, and that's really what I want to see out of these here. But I had made a comment about the fact that they were budding, and I didn't want that to happen. And you can see here, on this one here, see all the little buds here, here. And it's not that I don't want them to bud, I just don't necessarily want them to bud at this stage. I would prefer this mum to be this big, out to here and this tall. That's what I would prefer. And that is not anywhere close to where these are. And, it's, if they bud too soon, then most people prefer to purchase mums when they're fully budded out but not open yet. Or when you can just start seeing what color they're going to be, that's when most people will buy mums. And these are, while they're looking really nice, I probably should have purchased these several months before I did. I was led to believe that they would be exactly where I wanted them here, and by the end of the month. And that is not the case. This one probably could be. That one there probably could be. But, some of these others, you're still seeing a lot of dirt instead of a lot of mum. And that is why I'm a little frustrated, because they are already starting to bud out. Now, you can get a couple of good buddings in the fall if you pinch them back once they have bloomed, the flowers are spent. It's possible for them, if you fertilize them and water them well, they will come out a couple of times. If you want big blooms, throughout the year, they will bud out and bloom at least 3 big times a year. Spring, summer, and fall. But as you can see, some of them just aren't quite where I want them to be, and that's why I'm a little frustrated. It's not that I don't want them to bloom. I just really don't want them to bloom yet, because I want them to grow and have the opportunity to grow. I am fertilizing them appropriately. I'm giving them the right amount of water. They are now getting the right amount of sunshine, all of them. And, some of them are doing really well. But at the same time, some of them just are not. These are looking pretty good. Here. Kind of like you to get a little more sunshine. Let's move you. But I don't know. I'm frustrated just with the fact that they're not meeting my expectations. But again, this is the first time growing them from starts. Little teeny tiny starts. They were about this big. So, I'm my worst critic, as far as my expectations go. Overall, the plants are healthy. They're not burnt. They're not browning. They don't look like they've been eaten up by slugs. They don't have any type of fungal infection, nothing like that. They're actually beautiful plants. It's just that, when I want them to bud out would be closer to the end of the month. That's when I would like to start seeing buds, because most people here in the southern hemisphere, would like their mums to be blooming Halloween time and fall time, because that's when they're having parties, and that's when people are coming to their homes for trick-or-treating, and that's when they would like to see their flowers blooming. Fall festivals, things like that. Now I have a school that is purchasing 25 of the mums, and that I have promised her. And I'm sure she's wanting them for a fall festival, for the school to be pretty, that type thing. So you can see why it's important to know when they're going to bloom, and that they be right when you want them to be right. These are the ones here that I have set aside for her, and they're doing pretty well. They're looking pretty good. Of course, I would like them to be bigger, but these are a single plant, and they're looking gorgeous. Some of them, the pots have 3, and they don't look as good as these do. But some of them, aren't looking as great. These here are kind of tall, these right here. And I will probably switch those out for another pot when I deliver them, if they haven't thickened up the way I want them to. But, that's pretty much why I said I wanted them to not bud out yet. That's my explanation. It's not anything more than that. I just want the plants to be bigger. I want them to be big and beautiful. And right now I would say that they are small and beautiful, but they just need more time. And really, if I had gotten them a month earlier, I would probably be perfectly happy right now with the way that they're doing. And that's okay. I have a feeling that if I ever do mums again, I will just be buying in full-size mums in pots. It will probably cost me more for fewer pots or fewer plants. But that's okay, because they will be at a stage that they should be, and I'll be able to sell them fairly quickly, and I won't have to do all the labor of filling the pots, getting the pots, planting the pots, moving the pots. It will just be, they will just arrive, and I can put them in and water them and sell them probably that weekend. So, it's a learning experience. I've learned a lot from these. It's been a good experience. It's been exhausting because I have spent a lot of hours on this. But, I'm not really complaining. It's just I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that they are not meeting my expectations. But, they're plants. They're going to do what they want to do. All right. Well, that gives you an idea of what's going on. They're doing pretty good. I have some, I think, that are just looking beautiful, as far as the plants go. Like that one's really nice. That's a bronze. There. Here. These are reds. These are whites. Those are lilac. That's pink. And okay. Those back there, those are going to be purple. So, I have some, they're just doing great. That one's lilac. But anyway, well, that I'm hope I cleared that question up. As far as the plants go, I could pinch them all back. But then if they didn't bloom after I sold them, I would be really disappointed if I was to buy something like that. So I'm not going to pinch them back. And hopefully I can sell these at the right time. You know, if something like this ends up not selling, that's fine. I can plant that in my own yard, and then it will come back in the spring, and I might be able to sell it in the spring. You know, I just repot it back up, and then I'd sell it in the spring. This one here, I didn't think that one was going to grow at all. That little one right there, it was down to a stick. Some grasshopper or rabbit got a hold of it, and it was down to a stick. And even that one's actually looking pretty good now. But I just want them thicker. I want them bushier, you know, something more akin to that. More like these. These are the very first ones I potted up. And you can tell they're just a little bit bushier, a little taller, a little thicker. And doing pretty good. Well, that's my explanation as to why I don't want them budding yet. I want the buds nice and tight. I don't want to see color. You know, if there are buds, I just want them tight. I don't want to see any color for a couple of weeks. And I don't know that they're going to last a couple of weeks. So we will just have to see. Okay, well, that's what I have going on this morning. I have to go water my chickens and feed my baby chicks. And get back inside, make some coffee. And this gorgeous morning. It's beautiful out here. It's cool. I'm definitely digging the fall weather. Definitely. I'm actually seeing a little bit of color change on some of my trees that are back over that way. I marked some of them that we need to cut down for this winter. So if you see X's, those are the ones that are dead and they need to go. But I marked those this week too. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.